Let me take a crack at this story from one more angle. Why all the fuss all of a sudden about Justin Trudeau's speaking fees? Like, why now? I mean, the fact that he spoke to private groups, including charities, for huge speaking fees has never been a secret. And 4 months ago, back in February, Trudeau himself released a list of groups he spoke to and at what price. The particular charity that's been in the news lately, the Grace Foundation of St. John, was on the list, along with the staggering $20,000 fee that Trudeau charged them. So why did the media's interest in this only begin now? I think it's obvious the media party chose to ignore it. They don't like to criticize Justin Trudeau. They like him personally, as this photo of him with highly professional, absolutely neutral and nonpartisan media party reporters shows. And they sympathize with his mushy left ideology, and they want to be part of something exciting, like how aging baby boomers talk about Pierre Trudeau. So today's reporters want to relive their idea of the 60s and 70s with Justin Trudeau. It's the same reason they watch Mad Men, sorry. So they ignored Trudeau billing nearly $1 million for his speeches, including to charities and unions and groups that lobbied him, until the Grace Foundation actually had the temerity to ask for their money back. Now, the Grace Foundation sent a letter to Trudeau asking for a refund. When he ignored them, they sent the letter to the press and to Conservatives. Finally, the Fredericton Daily Gleaner, a leading newspaper in that province, ran with the story on Friday. The Ottawa Press Gallery just couldn't pretend it wasn't news anymore. Now, they were mad that the Grace Foundation shamed them into reporting this. They were mad that they had to criticize Trudeau. They were super mad that the Conservative spin doctors were circulating the story to reporters, trying to get others to write about it. So what did it look like when the media party was finally dragged, kicking and screaming, into doing a story about Justin Trudeau's $1 million speaking haul since entering politics? Well, look at this TV montage from 3 leading newscasts last night. It's very revealing.
The Conservatives continued to focus their attention on Justin Trudeau today, slamming him for taking payment from a charity for a speech when he was an MP.
It's time he paid back the money.
In fact, Trudeau has already said he will.
Trudeau hasn't broken any rules or laws and says he cleared every speaking engagement with the Federal Ethics Commissioner.
Justin Trudeau's pricey speaking fees were first leaked by the Conservative attack machine as a way to distract from the ongoing Senate scandal. Trudeau since promised the charity a refund.
Political leadership is about openness and transparency, and in Ottawa today, the Liberal leader, Justin Trudeau, said he is going to raise the bar on both of those. He's offering to pay back thousands of dollars he charged charities for speaking engagements. It's the Conservatives who alerted the media to Trudeau's fees.
Meanwhile, the Premier of Saskatchewan is calling on Trudeau to pay back what he charged for a literacy event, even though organizers told us they're satisfied.
There's also questions as to why you got involved. Were you contacted by the PMO about that letter from the Grace Foundation?
No.
There's a smear campaign. I think there's no denying that from the Conservative war room.
And this will be gone in a day or two. It's distracting attention from the Senate thing, but only peripherally and only for a moment.
There was so much in there. Let me take you through that again. Peter Mansbridge started off by saying that the Conservatives focused their attention on Trudeau as if their partisan criticism was the central feature of the story as opposed to Trudeau's conduct itself. Though there is something honest to that, I suppose. It's a form of confession that the CBC's watchdogs didn't give a damn about this scandal on their own. Then the CBC's reporter there said that Trudeau has already said he will pay back the money. As in, you noisy Conservatives, there's nothing to see here. Shut up already, it's fixed. Except for Trudeau hasn't promised to pay the money back yet, has he? He said maybe he would do that, but maybe he'll just go and give them another amazing speech for free and keep the 20 grand he billed them already. He very much has not said that he will pay them back. And then the CBC said Trudeau, quote, cleared every speaking engagement with the Ethics Commissioner. That implies he ran the name of every one of his clients by the Commissioner, but we don't know that. Trudeau has never said that. He has disclosed his speaking business, but did he really tell the Ethics Commissioner he was being paid $10,000, $20,000 each by lobby groups who were lobbying him, that he was being paid by unions that are banned from making political contributions? I think the CBC is being Trudeau's lawyer here and stretching the facts. Now, CTV went even further. They said Trudeau's fees were leaked by the Conservative attack machine. Remember that? To distract from the Senate? Except Trudeau himself released these details back in February. CTV just ignored them until now. CTV repeats the spin that Trudeau will repay the money when he has not said that he will, just that he might. But for sheer artistry, the most pro-Trudeau spin imaginable was from Global TV. They really did a beautiful job. It's one of Trudeau's worst scandals because it goes to his judgment, his wealth without work, his entitlement mentality. It's awful. But Global started by framing the news story as Trudeau raising the bar on openness and transparency. Yeah, that's the story here, eh, boys? No. And again, they say it was the Conservatives shopping the story around to cover for their own silence on the matter since February. My favorite, though, was their attack on Premier Brad Wall of Saskatchewan. Were you told to do this by the Prime Minister? Huh? Justin Trudeau had just charged the Saskatchewan literacy charity $20,000 as an MP. Global wasn't outraged by that. They were outraged that the Premier of Saskatchewan might object to that. And so there must be some conspiracy with Stephen Harper. Oh, but nothing beats CTV's power play at the end there. This is a smear campaign, Don Martin said. Seriously. See, Justin Trudeau is the victim here. The charities are the bullies. And John Edmondson of the Globe and Mail said, hey, everybody, don't worry. We only have to talk about Trudeau's problems for maybe another day or two before we can get back to conservative bashing. Here, please, watch the video clips again now that I pointed out all those factual errors and spin. Look at it again.
The Conservatives continued to focus their attention on Justin Trudeau today, slamming him for taking payment from a charity for a speech when he was an MP.
It's time he paid back the money.
In fact, Trudeau has already said he will. Trudeau hasn't broken any rules or laws and says he cleared every speaking engagement with the Federal Ethics Commissioner.
Justin Trudeau's pricey speaking fees were first leaked by the Conservative attack machine as a way to distract from the ongoing Senate scandal. Trudeau since promised the charity a refund.
Political leadership is about openness and transparency, and in Ottawa today, the Liberal leader, Justin Trudeau, said he is going to raise the bar on both of those. He's offering to pay back thousands of dollars he charged charities for speaking engagements. It's the Conservatives who alerted the media to Trudeau's fees.
Meanwhile, the Premier of Saskatchewan is calling on Trudeau to pay back what he charged for a literacy event, even though organizers told us they're satisfied.
There's also questions as to why you got involved. Were you contacted by the PMO about that letter from the Grace Foundation?
No. There's a smear campaign. I think there's no denying that from the Conservative war room.
And this will be gone in a day or two. It's distracting attention from the Senate's thing, but only peripherally and only for a moment.
What's that, like 12 factual inaccuracies or active bias in a 1-minute clip? That, my friends, is your media party. It's the same in print today. Look at all these headlines. Not about a sitting MP charging charities to meet with them, but about mean Conservatives for pointing it out. There's something really weird about so-called reporters deciding not to report on a scandal, but then going into full tilt attack mode against whistleblowers who do report the scandal. I mean, pick or choose. Either the Trudeau scandal is meaningless and unimportant and not newsworthy, in which case there really would be no reason even to mention those who say it's newsworthy, or it's a deeply embarrassing scandal that must be defended, so anyone who talks about it has to have their motives challenged and has to be rebutted. You really can't pretend the scandal is not news, but those who respond to it are news. I mean, you can't, unless you're not really reporters, but, more Liberal partisans. It's the journalistic wing of the Liberal Party. And if a reporter dares to break out of the pack and think for themselves, well, then no more fun goofing around with Justin Trudeau. He won't make you feel cool and loved anymore by posing for candid pictures for Facebook with you anymore. John Edmondson of the Globe and Mail is right. The scandal of an elected MP who made $1 million since entering politics by selling himself out to the highest bidder, that scandal will be done in a day or so. Hey, look over there. Look over there. A squirrel. A dastardly Conservative squirrel over there.